One, because I wanted to get the information and the knowledge that God had put inside me out to the masses. And by the masses, I mean, I work for large churches. They have large budgets and great resources and stuff like that. But smaller churches may not have the resources or the expertise to hire a Jason Caston. So I wanted them to be able to have the access to the knowledge and information that I had. So I wanted to put these resources into a book format that they could get access to. Now the book, for a low cost, average book, between $9.99 and $19.99 or something like that, you can buy the book and see the approaches that I took with these large churches. Now, when you see it happening with these large churches, you may think it's costing $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 just because you think that church has that budget. But in actuality, it's costing, $100, $500, maybe $1,000, and that's well within the reach of a small church. So I wanted them to be able to have access to that, and literally, the iChurch method, the book is a brain dump of what I do in a typical week working with these ministries. So I don't want people to think that the book was something that's not actually going on right now in real time. It's not old technology. It's real technology that's going on and current as of right now. And I wanted them to be able to have access to that and be able to not so much as compete, but have access and reach people the same way large churches are doing it. Because when it comes to a website, it doesn't matter if you have a Bible study in your living room or a small storefront church or a large mega church. The technology that you have access to is all the same. So you just need to have the resources and the knowledge and expertise on how to utilize it, and that's what I put in that book. After looking at the book, the next steps is to figure out how do you want to approach it. The book was written twofold. The first half of every chapter is written with a strategical perspective, and so that's for the decision makers or the pastors or the leadership to be able to make a well-informed decision about what they want to do with the technology that was presented. So if a pastor reads the first chapter, which is about websites, the first half of it is about the strategy of websites and why we're using them and what technology is being introduced to provide that solution. That way the pastor or the leadership can have a well-informed discussion with the technical person that may actually implement the solution, but the pastor is well informed enough to have a conversation so that technical person is not able to take advantage of them. So that was another aspect of me writing the book, was to empower leadership and pastors and the people of the smaller churches to have the knowledge to not let companies take advantage of them that are maybe out to just try and make a profit off of the church. I don't want that to occur. So the next step is just figure out if from a strategical perspective, if you want somebody else to implement it for you, then you can take this book, know exactly how you want to implement, and hand it to them and say, look, I want you to do what's in chapter 1, do what's in chapter 3, not so much chapter 2, we'll get to that later, and do what's in chapter 4. And I've read the book, so I know what's in it, and I just want you to implement the solutions that I've seen. And I think that would be the best approach for that. Now, there's another aspect to it, is if you have the pastor that's tech savvy, like some pastors I've worked with, they want to implement it themselves. So the second half of every chapter is a technical section where I've actually given code snippets, or I give screenshots of walkthroughs of how to implement, how to set up Facebook fan pages, how to set up podcasts, or how to load up videos on Vimeo.com and stuff like that. If you want to get hands-on and roll up your sleeves and actually do it, then I provide solutions for that as well and examples on how to do that. So I just want anybody, if people want to do it themselves, they can. Otherwise, they can hand it off to someone who could do it for them, and they know exactly what it is they want done. And last week of April 2013, maybe we'll say May or early May 2013, I'm going to release the second, volume 2 of the iChurch method. And what that does is the volume 1 that I've released was called How to Advance Your Ministry Online. And that was just the introduction as far as me showing people how to utilize the technology and advance your ministry online starting from nothing. So with volume 2, Changing the World When You Log In, it's taking what was introduced in volume 1 to another level. So for example, in volume 1, we talk about in websites, how to get your website up, what content management systems to use. In volume 2, we're talking about taking that website that's already implemented to another level, using technologies such as the parallax, responsive design, and stuff like that. We just want to keep taking things to the next level. A good example is in chapter 2 of the book. In volume 1, we talk about multimedia, podcasting, online video, online streaming. Well, in volume 2 of the book, in the multimedia section, we're talking about creating an entire internet church campus. Now, I felt like I had to wait to give people the information on how to implement an internet church campus, because I wanted just first of them to have a website before they tried to jump up and create an entire internet church campus. But once you start putting all these multimedia aspects together and these interactive aspects together, you can start creating that internet church campus. And that's when I want to start guiding people towards with that. And of course, with social media, the next level of that is we've seen Facebook bought Instagram. We've seen Pinterest really take off. And we've seen this visual social media really take off, based more around video and pictures and stuff like that. And I want to educate and inform people on how to utilize that. And then, of course, in mobile, instead of mobile websites are really the initial step of getting a church or ministry online. But now let's talk about mobile apps, how to take that to another level. Let's talk about tablets and how to best utilize those and implement and integrate those into the church.